דעתי שלא קראתי טיפוס באנגלית סתם.
Okay. Today's circles of influences, I will show you how it affects the family and why it creates damage to that family which doesn't deserve it. Second, I will show you what is happening to the public that it represents. Third, I will show you how it affects our society. I'm very happy that Ivan already agreed that the press and this media and how it's shown is affecting the public. How I will show you why it will create a backlash effect. First of all, to the rebuttal. We think that what Avishai just asked us, we think that maybe it will create a response attack. What do you mean by that? If, for example, the Hamas team created and performed a bomb explosion in buses, maybe the Jewish underground someone will go and do a response attack, and it will attack those terrorists, those families, and those civilians that doesn't deserve that attack. For that matter, we show that this creates real damage when we show who did it, and maybe it can hurt a civilian population. Second of all, we think that Sivan did not understand what Liraz just said. Because Liraz just said that in the media we search for flat, short, screaming headlines of what we saw. We think this will not create a good, intelligent information that comes and discussing the case in a real point of manner, in a real great view. Second of all, she didn't understand what Noam just said. What do you mean by this is not only terrorist attack, it's also create for that matter a Rabin's murder. We think that created a big mark on the Jewish national community, and that's created the mark on the society, which Raz already showed you, and I will stand on that note. When Sivan, regarding to what Sivan just said, for political, she said that she will be unique to political cases from other cases. We think that most of attacks and most of terrorist attacks are political, so I don't know what is the real difference. But we think that what she said, it would create a not justice way, that this is their only way. That this is what they see, this is what this public, this is what the conquered people, all of that, this is the only way, because that's what they can do. That's what we show to the people, to the public again and again. We don't see a lot of conversations, a lot of trying to make them together. First of all, we think that we don't believe in violence just like they see it, just like they said. When they justify, when they say, when they show that those acts, we think that as a freedom way of fighting or something like that, we think that justifies the violence that we don't believe in. And second, about that fear point, I don't know why is that changing the subject. Why we will fear less when we know that Palestinians attack us or national something. We don't know why the fear will grow. Apparently she didn't say why, so therefore I don't know. We need less fear and less segregation in our population, in our way of thinking. Therefore, I don't know why it will be changed whatsoever. I think that when we have less information, I don't need to mark as public, and I will afraid from that public. Therefore, I maybe will not afraid. I will afraid that person and not the public that he is belong to. So, how it affects the family? There can be a bad apple in every family, in every tree for that matter. In most families there are not, but those who have a bad apple in the tree, that family doesn't necessarily believe in what he did. But what we do in the media and what we do in the public, and even if they don't care, we think that some of them, we make them feel like they are blamed for that what he does, for bad education, for bad influence, for not preventing him to do what they did. But and especially when they don't believe in what they do, they are still being blamed. Why is that? Because we think that the press want short, screaming headlines. We think that in the separate, the yellow material for that matter, and to do argue about that family. They will search for the roots of that family, for the roots of education. For all of that, it will hurt the family, which necessarily are innocent, and therefore they will create a damage. They will be creating damage to them, and therefore we think that hurts for stake, for real, and creates great damage to that family, which doesn't deserve the damage. Yes, Aisha.
After the beheading of the head of a British soldier by 2 Muslims in London, we haven't seen the type of backlash that you are describing as we've seen after the events of 9/11. Why is there was a difference in the public outrage to those 2 different events?
Because the popularity, not popularity, the exposure for 9/11 and for those 2 Muslims that created were big and strong effect. And we think that in most cases, we think that when we have a political way, something that is very unique and very strongly political ideology, that causing me to do that, something that is so bad, I think that creates. But what the public he represents for that matter, we have already explained that. I think that it will make them see the Pygmalion effect once over. I think that they will be shown in the media as the extreme, just like national religious community after Rabin's murder, for that matter. The media has an effect on that people, and how it affects the public, the state, public society. Now they will be seen as us and them. There will be a segregation in our society. We'll see a group of people. We will be explaining them as the group, or those, or he from them, and for that matter. What we will do for them they will be outsided from our society, because they are dangerous, they are extreme, we can't sit with them, there are no partners and stuff like that. And what will happen, it really happens with the Palestinians, because we're saying that in most cases, the liberal people say that some of them are terrorists, but in the common ground, what has in the common society, it is the Palestinians are terrorists, all of them. That shows the grouping and losing the difference between those people. Therefore, we show you that the press is wrong, that we should not accept it, and we should accept this offer.
We thank you very much and are happy to call Val to close the first half of the debate. Val. Nofar is also on that team.
אני מחלקת פעם. כאילו, ממך, אני גם...
רק אני